Good morning from Macedonia, Skopje.
Hello from Poznan.
Oh, what's
Sorry,
the weather in
and I'll
Poznan?
go to the forest, okay? We will meet.
Okay. What's the weather in Poznan? Sunny or
Oh
not?
my goodness, it's amazing. The sun
Amazing.
is shining like crazy today.
Oh, super. So the day when I left Poznan, the
It
sun was,
was
focused
gone.
on you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not going to not go forward to the path. Okay. Now I am talking to myself. One
Yes.
thing before we
Yes.
start, I want to show you something, and I want to show. I want to show it because I crocheted yesterday. I
You are
don't know
so amazing with this
if
crocheting, Wow.
it's visible. It's
And it's very thick. Is it very thick? Thick?
yes, it is. It's 100% wool
Ooh.
and wool. Mhm.
I'm just saying woo.
Wool. Okay. I thought I should verbalize it like woo, woo. Okay, wool. It's 100% wool.
Yes,
Okay.
very good. I'm just saying woo. So I have to
Because
change my reaction word. It's like
okay.
I'll say awesome.
Okay. Yesterday when I landed, it was maybe 10 minutes after landing. I was in my favorite not crochet but yarn shop
Okay.
in Skopje because
Yes.
Vladimir was owning me Valentine's gift.
He owed
And
you one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I will show you. And I choose this.
Oh, okay. So that's the
God.
Valentine gift.
Oh,
Whoa.
so
My
heavy,
goodness.
so heavy. Yeah, it's so heavy and so many beautiful colors. And I decided to choose, but I was very reasonable. And I was very reasonable.
Good.
And at least 2 points were very reasonable. So the first point was I choose only these colors, which I have just a few balls in my
Okay. In
Poznan,
Poland.
in my
Sure.
crafting cave, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the second reason is one ball of yarn, and it's, for example, 100%
Acrylic?
bemla,
No.
pamuk, bawełna. Bawełna.
Cotton wool.
Cotton, Joanna, oh my goodness, cotton, Bamolive. Cotton, it is, for example, 100% cotton and it's organic cotton. So
Wow.
in Poland, it's about 15 zlotys via internet, not,
In the
when you
shop.
go to the shop. Yeah. And there
Mm-hmm.
you can buy it for, you have to pay 45 denars. It's about 3 zloty. So
I
I
have
love
an idea for business. Let's export.
Yes,
Ex- what do you think about that? It's going to be
yes,
craft your life
right.
export.
Yeah, as you can see, for example, I choose this color. It's a kind of,
Yes,
it's
very nice.
green, but in between.
Green.
And
Mm-hmm.
for example, this
Mm.
one and this one. So I will
Combine and join and oh my
combine. Yeah.
gosh.
And Vladimir decided to choose 100%. Woo, woo,
Ooh, yes.
because he wants a scarf. He wants a
Ah,
scarf, but very thick and very warm. And yesterday I tried, I think, about 5 patterns, and
oopsie.
at least he decided for this one. I
In
called
the
it,
end, yes.
yeah, at the end. I called it accordion.
Nice.
Accordion.
Accordion, yeah.
Accordion. You know why? Uh,
Mm.
because when you hold it like here, you can
You can
like accordion.
push.
Yeah,
Yeah, like pull it. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And it
It's so nice,
spreads.
but yeah, and I'm already working on the project.
Wow, my goodness. How long
Project
is it gonna
start.
be? Yeah, it's a project, of course. It's a
Yeah,
crafting
just to
project.
start. And one more thing. So
Mm-hmm.
this scarf is my scarf, as you
Oh
know.
yes, that one is so cool.
And okay, I like it very much. I like it very
Super.
much. This yarn was from Action, and from time to time, when I feel that I have to buy a ball of yarn, and I must do it, and I must do it. I must,
I
even
must
if
go to Action.
100, not 1,000, different balls of yarn. I have to buy only one. Then I am going to Action, and that's my absolutely favorite shop.
Okay.
In Poland, and there I usually find something for me, and that's the best ever.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I am so happy that it's so easy to make you happy. So
I'm not
all
sure.
I need to do, I'm going to blindfold you one day, I'm going to come to you, I'm going to blindfold you, and I'm going to say, Ash, I have a surprise for you. You have a budget of, I don't know, 200 zloty, and you can pick and choose whatever you want,
Yeah, yes, please. But it's a budget that I can spend in Macedonia. Then because it's about 200 zloty, it's about 50 euros. So it was about 100 euros. 100.
That bag, which you see over there, the bag which you have just shown us, okay?
Yes, but it's 8.5 kilos of cotton, organic cotton. So it's absolutely not possible. In Poland, you can buy, I don't know, maybe 2 kilos, maybe, it's
if you're lucky and you know where to look.
But the problem is I do not like, maybe I know that I shouldn't say something like that, but I do not like the woman in the shop, she's so, because she has no idea.
This one.
This,
okay.
yeah, because she's a very nice person. She's a very nice person. She's a very good seller for sure, but she has no idea about crocheting, knitting, sewing, no idea, and she counts everything according to the weight. For example, she said, oh, for the scarf, because Vladimir asked me how many balls of wool, we have to buy if he wants a scarf. And I asked him about the pattern. So I asked him about the very specific type of the pattern he wants, because I cannot count how many meters of wool I need to buy. If I do not know how tough,
tight,
how tight the pattern should be, and
exactly.
The woman said just, oh no, 5 balls will be absolutely enough.
And 5 balls is not even close to what you need, probably.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So I spent yesterday. I used 4 balls for this part.
Oh goodness gracious
Because
me!
Vladimir, so I can crochet a brilliant scarf for you,
of course,
using only 2 balls if you want. But it will be a scarf like that, like this,
with holes in it.
Or using, for example, 4 or 5. If you want a scarf which is, like, for example, that one, I will show you.
Show me.
Like, for example, this one. For example,
that one is also nice. Yes.
Yeah, very nice, and it's absolutely enough 5 balls for that one, because it's soft and like
light.
Yeah, but the same yarn, so the same wool, the same yarn.
So our new name for wool is wool. Okay.
If you want a very thick, once again, please,
tightly knit.
Tighten it. So if
tightly
you want
knit,
tighten it.
Tightly knit. Exactly. Thank you. From knitting. Exactly.
Thank you. So if you want a very tightly knit scarf, it's not possible to crochet the scarf using only 5 balls of the same, because Vladimir said I want this very specific pattern and this very specific way of crocheting and this very specific tight knit.
Tight knit, yes. Let's call it a tight knit pattern.
So I need more yarn.
So now you go to the woman and you say, what the heck have you sold to my partner?
this morning, it was 8 o'clock in the morning when Vladimir left the flat and went to the shop, entered the shop, and buy 10 more balls of yarn.
Oh my goodness.
And he said, it's not
honey,
possible.
here.
Finished. And Vladimir said, yes, it was finished yesterday.
So,
2 hours
Asha,
after our, yeah.
my dear Joanna, you have a mission now. You have to go to that woman and to help other people who are going to be her future customers. If I were you, I would take the 3 types of scarves with the 3 types of patterns, show her and visualize, because she's going to be misinforming her future customers. And in order to avoid an angry woman at home, the best idea is to take her 3 different types of scarves. This one takes this much yarn, this one takes this much yarn, and this one takes this much yarn. She will be happier and wiser.
I think that she will be disappointed because of her. Maybe she will be disappointed because of her, and maybe she would think, oh my goodness, I'm not a good person, I'm not a good seller, I'm not a good worker, and now she for sure will tell to my boss, etc. Maybe
no. If you enter the shop, it's all in the way that you choose to communicate. If you're going to go yada 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 yada, like snack snack snack, oh my goodness, you are so terrible, of course. But if you enter the shop with a big smile and you say hi,
I've just no, I do not have enough time for doing things such.
Oh, come on. You don't want to change her life to be a better seller. Shame on you, you know? Shame on you.
And of course, then she will be willing to learn how to crochet and knit and...
Why not? Look what a nice bond you can make. The bond is just waiting there for you to make it.
I think
I'm sorry, I'm so cruel.
No.
Yes.
It's great. There's the first time I gave you the opportunity of talking.
Oh, well, that's good.
That's good.
It's not my show time. It's your show time. It's your channel.
It's our show time. It's our show time. It's our show time.
I'm in the background, not in the foreground. You are in the foreground.
There is no foreground and background during the meeting. As you can see, we have two split, two divided.
The screen is divided into 2 parts.
Yeah, so we have 2 spaces, but we are together forever. So,
amen.
Amen. Yeah. Yesterday at the airport.
Oh my gosh!
And of course, my plane was a little bit late, so the plane not, but the boarding. So I didn't have to be so so quick with ending.
Better be earlier than too late, right? It's better to be
absolutely. And we finished with informing people about what needs and desires are from our relationship, family, and etc. And we said that it is possible only if you have the possibility of being in a healthy environment, a healthy family. So if you live within healthy borders, within a healthy society. And that's the reason I was thinking, this morning, because I always think about our classes.
Well, so do I, but I'm like more task oriented. So Asha gives me a task and Monica does everything to complete the task, and then 2 minutes before the meeting, Asha comes up with task number 2. And then Monica's like,
of course. And that's because you are multitasking.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, the point is that that's not the point to do the task. That's not the point to fulfill the task. That's not the point to do the job. That's not the point to go to work. The point is to feel that you are happy because you are doing what you are already doing. Because you've done what you are already doing. Because to be happy because of everything, and not just doing the task. That's the reason I have to give you a lot of tasks.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah, that's why I bought a thick workbook like this, Asha, for our lessons.
Oh my goodness.
It has 300 pages and I have no stress that the paper is going to run out,
Oh my
That I'm going
goodness.
to run out of possibility to take notes. Yes, I'm listening. So
Yeah.
toxic environments, toxic.
Toxic environment, we said toxic environment, but some psychiatrists that say that it's not good to use this toxic word, that
Yeah.
maybe it's better to use unhealthy or insecure or
Yeah, that's a good.
unhealthy, insecure. Huh? Would you
Good
say?
piece of advice. Good piece of
Yeah,
advice.
yeah, but I like toxic word to because I know so many people which are definitely toxic, and they are toxic, and they are
Do you
toxic.
want to provide a list here? No,
Yeah,
Martina.
no, 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 never, no, no, no. Only if they want to join us and talk about the toxicity. I don't know,
Oh yeah,
toxicity.
toxicity. Yeah, a difficult
Toxicity.
word.
Oh, I like it. Oh, so I got it. Toxicity. Yeah, because they are toxic. So I've spent so many years with them, and I do know. I do what I do is they are toxic. They are
With a big T. With a big T.
with a big T and with X and B and be everything.
Everything caps lock.
And I do prefer being with poisoning people instead of being with toxic people, because when you are in the environment in poisoning people, you are you spend, for example, the 5 minutes and you are dead, so you are already died, so you passed away and you do not remember it, and that's the end of the story. But you are with toxic people,
Oh.
they are encouraging you to survive with all of these toxins inside you, so they are evaporating with toxic
Toxicity.
substance, yeah, toxicity, and you are evaporating all of them, yeah. And then when you said, okay, but I think that something's going wrong and I do not like it, and I think that you, for example, push me too much and that you expect too much from me, and I have and I do not have enough time, they will tell you, yes, you do not have enough time because you are not
Well organized.
yeah, you are not well organized. You should change your behavior, you should change your partner, you should change your way of living, you should change your habits, your eating habits, your working habits, etc. And they have the whole idea of your life, what you should change, and then you will fulfill all of his need, all of their needs, and the amount and the and their holistic approach to the toxicity is so
It's overwhelming.
overwhelming, and it's so spread, and it's so
Let's write a book about it.
and it
How to
makes
be
you
toxic.
perplexed. Yeah, and then you think, okay, for sure something's going wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm not good organized. Maybe I'm not well organized. Maybe I'm not a good worker. Maybe I should change my habits, for example, eating habits or resting habits or working habits. Maybe I should change my, I don't know, crocheting habits. Maybe I should spend less time in the toilet, because I remember it was a time in my life when I was that the time I spent in the bathroom was counted by my boss,
Oh my
or
God.
my maybe not a boss, but the przełożony, taki
Supervisor.
supervisor, and okay, and I had to explain to him or her, or to them,
Oh my
that
goodness.
but I had to bath. I had to take a bath. I had to spend 1 hour in the bathroom. 1 hour? What did you do for 1 hour?
You know what you say?
Finish
None of your business.
Yeah, but you are, and now we are actually entering the subject of the toxic, so unhealthy. Let's just use this term, so unhealthy or maybe
Insecure.
unsecure, unhealthy environment, and it's absolutely up to you if it's if it's work environment or at home, so your family environment, because it refers to all possible environments.
Scenarios, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and scenarios. And the first thing is that, and maybe it's a kind of, maybe it's because before our meeting, and that's the reason I haven't finished the intro outro project, that I was trying to and it's not difficult, I was trying to find a kind of the characteristics of for example, toxic environment, of
Okay.
course mental, and
Yeah, but it's mental and physical, right? So
yeah,
yeah.
and they are found, of course, violence, about so mental violence and physical violence, and they are found something about boundaries. So do not respect your boundaries, do not respect your feelings, do not respect your that they do not that I had the whole list, but I just a second, maybe I will find it. Just a second, toxic. Just a second, because it was a good list for, but it was not a good list for remembering. It was a good list for starting our meeting.
Yeah, to become more aware of the.
Yeah, because when okay, now I have it. Oh, okay, so for example, what does it mean that you, for example, that you live in a toxic family? And there I have about 15 characteristics.
Oh
There's
my
one
goodness.
more word in English. Charakterystyka is, there is a different word in English from C.
Features?
Features,
No.
yeah, and very short, like a tips, like
Cues.
cues, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
used it yesterday, I think, even.
But I often forgot. I usually forget about this term. I don't know why. Maybe that's because it sounds like a curse.
Okay.
It's a kind of misleading in my head. Okay, so
Okay.
there you have at least 15
Cues, a
Q,
cue. Mm-hmm.
Q. So they that you feel that you live in toxic families. So they ignore boundaries, they dismiss your feelings, acting harsh and critical, always having to be right, calling you names, disrespect of boundaries or personal space, refusal to get help. They overreact, acting entitled, attention-seeking behaviors, emotional instability, lying, no taking responsibility for their actions, physical violence. They compare you, they pit siblings against one another, and maybe only the last one. So they pit siblings against one another. Maybe they compare you. Maybe that's the two of all of this characteristic that I understand them, and that I automatically, with no without thinking about it, that I recognize, okay, for example, I understand it. And I was wondering if it's possible for an average person who, for example, who is looking in the internet, please, or in the chat GPT, please give me 15 characteristics of toxic family. And if I write something like, and if I read something like this, so if I have listed, they ignore boundaries, dismiss your feelings. It sounds so, for me, it sounds so unfamiliar. I'm not familiar with all of this. Now I understand them. So
Of course.
because I've been reading so many books, so I'm already, it's my 6th year of my therapy. So
No, definitely you have experience. Yeah, that's
I
for sure.
have experience, but I'm still in a kind of mismatch, with all of these words. And I have to, maybe not I have to, but I want to have a kind of an experiment with, for example, I don't know, my mother, sister, people at work, just to list all of these characteristics and ask them, what does it mean? What does it mean that they ignore your boundaries? What does it mean? What does it mean? And for example, what does it mean that they dismiss your feelings? So if I said, I feel sad, and they said, okay, you feel sad, but it's not an appropriate. Okay, so I understand you feel sad, but it's not an appropriate emotion at this very time. Does it mean that they dismiss your feelings or not? You feel sad, so you feel sadness. You feel you are sad. They say, okay, you feel sad, but it's not a good feeling for now. It's so tricky.
Yeah.
Because they say, I understand you. Same thing, for example, at work. I understand, and I'm so, I'm so sad that you feel that you are overwhelming by all of this stuff we have to do, but it's not a proper feeling. In fact, the feeling you are now feeling, it's not a real feeling you are feeling, because you are not overwhelmed by all of this stuff. You are just not well organized person.
Yeah, well, when you put it like that, it's pretty contrastive, right? Because like the first step is always to acknowledge someone's feelings. So on one hand, they're okay, like
But on
they're,
the other hand,
yeah, it's like they're contradicting the first.
Yeah, and that's the point. There you have because there's always something in between, and we've been talking about it. I think we were talking about it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
When I was I was trying to express the idea of ritual of passage, that it is divided into three phases, into three steps. So the step of living your status, the step in between, and the period of re-entering or entering a new status. And when you are in between, and that's the point, that dismiss your feelings, or for example, always having to be right. I don't want to be right, but the point is you are wrong. I don't want to be right, but you are wrong. But I love you so much. I care about you. I'm still thinking about you. So I do care about you, and all of your efforts. I can observe it and them, and I'm aware of your efforts, and I do everything the best for you. But you are not right, and I am here to help you, and I will help you. Please do not refuse. Do not tell me you cannot manage it. You cannot take this, for example, stuff, this work, even if you know that you are overwhelmed and you have no force, you have no strength, you have no time. You are all, but the point is you are not well organized. Please believe me, I'm older, or I'm more experienced, or and then
The best one.
Yeah, and it's not the unhealthy environment, and it's not the unsecure environment, it's the toxic environment. And the toxic person, when he or she or they, when they, for example, tell you, uh, please look at us. Look at all of this stuff. And that's the point. If you're, for example, friend at work, when she or he is really a hard worker, so he or she is, for example, busyholic, workaholic, because of her or his problems, and he or she is really overwhelmed, and she's working for the whole day and whole night non-stop, and she's the example, or he's the example. So look at me, look how many problems, real problems I have with my health, with health of my kids, of my partners, of my parents, of my so look at me, look at all of my efforts, all of my work, and compare my efforts with your efforts, and then you will see you are just not well organized. And then you are like, and then you start blaming yourself for everything, that you are so lazy, bad organized, that you are just a garbage, and the point is that we are not able to cross all of these toxic boundaries if we are not aware of it. So that's the reason I decided to ask you for starting.
No, very good. That's a very good point.
Because the process of recognizing the unhealthy environment, and I think the word environment is a proper word, because environment it's very
broad.
Thank you. Yeah, very broad term. It's absolutely, for me, it's absolutely crucial and at the core of the point to recognize the environment and to be aware if it's a healthy or unhealthy environment. But I feel that it's not for me, for example, with 6 years of experience in in therapy, but I'm the patient. I'm not the therapist. I'm the patient,
but that's good because you also have different kind of feedback than the psychologist, right?
And with my 45 years of C-PTSD experience and toxic experience, traumatic experience, it's not enough to read in the internet, books, etc., and to hear only words like "they ignore your boundaries." What do you think? Does your mother ignore your boundaries? I have no idea.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? So I have to hear very specific descriptions about very specific behaviors. I have to have the example. I don't want to hear about boundaries, setting boundaries, about being critical, about, I don't know, calling you names. For example, from time to time, I used to, or someone used to say something like, no, I want to say that sometimes calling you names is funny.
Yeah.
And you do not, if you, for example, if you are in a healthy environment, you do not recognize calling names as something
toxic
harmful,
or bad, or
for example, where is my,
pumpkin or sweetie pie, or
and even if it's something which is hard for you, for example, when you struggle with something and when you suffer, but you are trying to outroot it, and you are trying to and you, for example, and you and your friend or your family members, you co-regulate in a good way, and you know that when they use, for example, a word which is usually recognized as something bad, you feel good because you know that this person likes you, and
it's funny. It builds positive reactions.
And one more thing,
interactions.
For example, one more thing, just a second. Calling your names, dismiss your feelings. No, I do not dismiss your feelings. I understand you, but your feelings are bad.
So that's step number 2, right?
I am here to help you. Or maybe, for example, they overreact.
With what? What does that mean?
And you, what? Why are you behaving such like I don't know, like a jerk, etc., etc.? And then they can say, okay, you are just you were overreacting, and I do not feel good. And you can say, I'm not an overreacted person. I just have to show you that the way you are behaving is a bad way, and you are so self-oriented, and I have to, for example, be more louder because
Expressive. Yes.
expressive. Yes, I'm not a violent person. I am an expressive person. So, and if you say that that I'm harming your feelings, it means that you are too sensitive. You are oversensitive person. You are hypersensitive person. Please change you. I don't know. Go to a therapist. I want to show.
No, I'm not laughing at what you're saying
No,
or
no,
how
no, no,
you're
no, no,
saying.
no.
I'm just,
I
yeah,
know.
it's crazy.
I know that you are not laughing. But so the when I call someone as as a toxic person, it means, and not unhealthy, etc. It means that I'm talking about someone who is still trying to convince you that he or she understands you, and he or she thinks all the best about you, and he or she cares about you, but
they don't.
you do not give the possibility of not to be overreact, of not to lie, of not to I don't know, dismiss your feelings, because you are hypersensitive, hyper vigilant person. You are hyper.
Yeah, cool.
And they have the right to tell you that you are hyper and that you have to change. And that, so being in a toxic environment for me means that it's something like, for example, that you work in a toxic that you are working on a toxic ground. For example, there is hidden a kind of toxic substantial, and
Substance, yeah, substance.
and it's evaporating. It's
Oh my goodness.
evaporating, and you are working here, for example, and you are breathing with the toxic air, and you are not aware. Maybe from time to time you feel that something is going wrong, and then you ask, for example, your boss or someone what's going on, and he or she said everything is
Nothing.
okay. It's just your feeling, everything's okay. Look at here. So look, we are working here too. If it's so bad, teraz ten conditional, fucking conditional. If it was so bad, we would never work here.
Yeah, if it was so
Yeah.
bad, we would never. Yeah.
So they compare you with them, and they show you that they will suffer more. Look at me. I'm working so hard. Please do not tell me that you are not able to, I don't know, take this translation, or that for example, take this text correction, because you are overwhelming. Look at me. Look at my personal problems, and look at my job efforts and job stuff. I'm overwhelmed. I could be named as an overwhelmed person. You are just not well organized. And that's the toxic environment. When you are there, you are breathing with all of these toxins, but you are not allowed by other people to say so they do not give you the
permission.
give permission, to leave this place. And I think that it's a good point for ending, for the end of our meeting, and it's a good start, and it's a good thing for a kind of resume.
A summary. It's so misleading because I look at this recording time and I'm like, yeah, we still have time to talk. And then I'm looking at Joanna, and Joanna's like working under time pressure. And I'm like, what? Is it already time up, or what's going on? Because Joanna is sticking to the schedule. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, so to make a conclusion,
So-
we're coming to the end, drawing to the end of the conversation.
So maybe the first sign which should
Make you
draw
alert. Yeah.
your attention, draw
Yes. Yeah.
draw your attention,
Yeah.
is that that someone or they, for example, do not give you the permission for living.
Oh my
So
gosh. Then then it's game over. You're like in chains.
So, for example, you started with, I think that something's going wrong, that I do not like it, but now, everything is okay, please, when you compare we with me, etc., etc. Then you said, for example, I think that I do not like it, and I do not like the way of you behaving. Okay, I understand you. I fully understand you. Yes, please forgive me if I did something wrong, but please be aware of the fact that you may be overreact, that you are maybe oversensitive person, hypervigilant person. Please think about it. I have already read a few articles about it. I can send them to me, and after I don't know, 5, 6, 10 times, maybe it's good not to ask about something like, for example, not to express your feeling, not to express your feelings, not to express your problems, but just say, there's something I want to talk about with you. I want to leave. I want to cross the border. I think, I'm sure, not I think, I'm sure.
Yeah, you have to be
Because
confident.
when you give them, I think, I
that
suppose,
gives them.
I was thinking about, I was wondering, oh, it's a fuel for them. They feel like,
how dare you?
they are so there's something I want to talk with you about, and I decided to leave.
You must be firm, of course. Yes, that's
and they,
condition number one.
I don't want to explain.
I'm done. I'm done.
I like you and I want to be your friend. For example,
I
if you
respect
want,
you, of course.
but I am leaving. No, I am thinking about, I'm leaving. And that's the moment.
Very tricky.
That's the moment of yes, no question.
Oopsie.
And if they let you go, just if they say, I understand, okay, I'm sorry if I did something wrong, I'm sorry, I hope you will be happy, I hope, and if you need help in the future, please ask me, I will help you, and I am keeping fingers for you. I'm so happy that you decided to go in a new direction. Super.
You are talking about the best of the best of the best. A toxic person will never ever say that.
A toxic person will never let you go.
No,
never. Never. And that's the moment of checking. So we should, at the end, please check the person, please check the environment.
But we have to, Asha, because just a few seconds ago you were talking about these 15 conditions which make it difficult for someone to realize that is a toxic environment. So probably the next thing to do is equip someone with the tools. We have to think of the tools. Because we are very general, like you looked up what it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, what do you think about talking about ignore or crossing your boundaries?
Yeah, and also like equipping someone with the tools, what they need to, like red flags. When you go to therapy, you have red flags and you need to... Where are we going to? We're a pilot.
I'm encouraging you, all of you. Yes, no question. And I'm checking. But if you are checking, you have to be prepared for living.
Yeah, and because then because
if you are not prepared, it will be a fuel, like cosmic fuel for them. You have to be prepared for checking, and you have to be prepared for living. And that's the moment when you will recognize for sure the toxic person.
Yeah.
maybe not at this very moment. Maybe it will take you, for example, 1 month, because, for example, he or she will be thinking, oh, he's kidding, you know, I will give
He will
her
come
time.
back, or she will come back. Yeah.
Especially when you've been doing it for many times. So I'm leaving, but
Yeah.
you'll never leave. Yeah. So, but it's a good stuff. It's a good stuff, and it's checked. Is it sprawdzone?
It's checked and verified. Yep.
It's checked. It's checked for several times, and
Mwah.
it works. It
Yes.
works, and
Yes.
it's worth it. It's worth
Yes.
it. Worth it.
Freedom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice time in
Have a nice
Macedonia.
and see you soon.
Of course. Take care.
See you soon. Take care.
Happy